You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to this Monday. Again, it looks like all the storms are gone for the time being as far as any kind of tropical storm or hurricane or even typhoon across the globe, for that matter. This is the first time, again, since July that there's been no named system out there in terms of tropical storm, hurricane, or typhoon. We have is the remnants of what was Florence still making its way through parts of the eastern United States into Ohio, some moisture there, Pennsylvania, all the way down south into Virginia. It's starting to lessen up in North Carolina, still a line of showers moving through parts of the eastern portion of that state, but not much. You can see that rotation and rain now making its way through West Virginia and a stretch of showers right through central portions of North Carolina. For us, it's been relatively dry today. There have been a few showers around. Not much. Some activity working its way off from Lake Okeechobee will be moving northwesterly. So we're going to keep a pretty good chance for some late night showers in the mix. Say around 10, 11 o'clock, we could see some rainfall developing. Right now, just one lone shower east of I-75. Some dry air slipping away in the Gulf, and boy, a lot of dry air to the east of Florida. That dry air associated with an upper level low, which is for the most part going to stay out there in the Atlantic. We'll have more on that a little bit later and take a look at the rest of the tropics too. The remnants of Isaac and where that may be going down the road. We'll have all the details on that in a few minutes. Jacqueline.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to our top story. Neighbors and witnesses to the fatal crash on State Road 64 on Saturday are outraged. Tonight, they're demanding safety improvements to the intersection they say was deadly long before the two teenagers lost their lives. ABC 7's Taylor Toragano joins us live from the scene of that accident. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline. You can see the deep indent left in the grass where one of the cars involved in Saturday night's collision landed after witnesses say they saw it flip 4 or 5 times. Both of the people in that vehicle were ejected. One included a 12-year-old girl who still remains in critical condition. Today, her mom says she's not ready to speak to us on camera, but did give this update on Facebook. Ayla has a fractured pelvis and collarbone, bruised lungs, and small bleeds in her brain. She is in and out of consciousness, but is now able to respond to questions. Today we spoke to the witnesses of this crash who prayed over Ayla right where she was ejected. Jason Bearden immediately ran to help her and her dad. He and his wife say there was no way for the 17-year-old driver, Chase Coyner, to see the oncoming traffic as he tried to turn left onto Pope Road. Now I'll have more from those two witnesses and from a neighbor whose daughter just started a petition that already has well over 500 signatures. For now, I'm live on SR64, Taylor Toragano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. New details on a bank robbery in Sarasota County. Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a robbery at the Liberty Savings Bank on Stickney Point Road around 10 o'clock this morning. Deputies say this man walked in and gave a teller a note implying he had a weapon. The man then left the bank and ran off. Deputies say they searched the area and nearby businesses, but they have not been able to find that man. The sheriff's office says this is an ongoing investigation. Also new at 4, a man in Bradenton was robbed of his jewelry early yesterday morning. Police say the 19-year-old victim was walking on 15th Street East around 2 o'clock in the morning when a dark-colored vehicle pulled up and two men, both wearing ski masks, got out. One was carrying a gun. Those two men demanded that the victim give them the jewelry he was wearing. The victim wasn't hurt, and police are still looking for the suspects. A 60-year-old man is facing charges this afternoon after he allegedly exposed himself at the Centennial Park Interactive Fountain in Venice. A witness told Venice police that Martin Morozic was exposing and touching himself while watching kids play nearby. Police spoke to Morozic, who claimed he was applying tanning oil on his thigh. But the officer noted that it was almost 9 p.m. and the sun had already set. The incident happened on July 1st, but charges were not filed until this week. Morozic is also facing a grand theft charge. The State Fire Marshal's office is investigating a devastating house fire in Palmetto that left 2 people injured. That fire broke out at a home on 4th Avenue East around 11 o'clock last night. When firefighters arrived, flames were shooting out of the house. 5 people were inside the home at the time of the fire. 2 were taken to the hospital. The cause of that fire is still unknown. Now to new developments involving Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, a California professor now accusing him of sexual assault. That alleged incident happening when they were in high school more than 30 years ago. ABC's Kenneth Moten has details on those allegations.
The sex assault allegations against Brett Kavanaugh are rocking his confirmation process to the Supreme Court. Now more bipartisan calls for his accuser to be heard on Capitol Hill.
She should not be ignored. She should testify under oath, and she should do it on Capitol Hill.
The Washington Post reports a California woman, Christine Blasey Ford, claims Kavanaugh allegedly pinned her to a bed and groped her during a party in the 80s when they were in high school. The paper wrote Blasey Ford also said Kavanaugh was stumbling drunk trying to attack her and remove her clothing. Quote, "I thought he might inadvertently kill me." The Post reports the woman says she managed to get away. The White House is standing by Kavanaugh, who said in a new statement, "This is a completely false allegation. I have never done anything like what the accuser describes to her or to anyone. Because this never happened, I had no idea who was making this accusation until she identified herself yesterday."
She came forward when she believed that it was her civic duty to alert her representative and then Senator Feinstein about her serious concerns.
The allegation referred to the FBI and included in Kavanaugh's background file, but no criminal investigation. The attorney for Blasey Ford, now a psychology professor, says the woman is open to testifying on Capitol Hill and submit the results of a polygraph test the accuser says she passed.
Hearings should not be used to be weaponized against those who accuse powerful men, and that's how this is being set up.
Democrats are demanding the Senate Judiciary Committee delay a vote on Kavanaugh scheduled for Thursday. Committee leaders say they are following up on the allegations with Kavanaugh and Blasey Ford. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Today, the Senate is expected to vote on bipartisan legislation to curb the opioid epidemic. The plan would require special packaging for prescription opioids. It would also push for increased use of non-addictive painkillers, and it would force the post office to crack down on drug shipments. Similar legislation has already cleared the House. President Trump said last month on Twitter that he supports this plan. Dozens of protesters greeted Governor Rick Scott today when he made a campaign stop in Venice. Protesters were out front at Mojo's Real Cuban, and many of them appeared to blame Scott for the red tide plaguing the Suncoast. One sign read, "Scott, no more poison." Another saying, "Reject red tide Rick, no more polluters for profit." Others were a bit more general, including one sign that read, "Climate change is real," and another that said, "Save our marine life." Still to come on your Suncoast News at 4, Hurricane Florence leaves behind destruction in the Carolinas. How people here on the Suncoast are gathering items and cash donations to help those impacted by the storm. Plus, a group of breast cancer survivors came together over the weekend to raise money and awareness for cancer research. And police reminding people of sea turtle safety after nearly a dozen were rescued from a parking lot in Venice.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords. All on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No. Don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For days, people living in North and South Carolina were told pay attention and to follow warnings and evacuation orders ahead of Hurricane Florence. As a new week begins, those warnings are no less significant for a storm system that has already claimed at least 20 lives. Omar Jimenez is in New Bern, North Carolina, where the rain continues to soak an already saturated area.
This storm's like a house guest who doesn't want to leave.
That sentiment is one shared by thousands across the state as they continue to get hammered 3 days after Hurricane Florence made landfall. Now a tropical depression, the National Hurricane Center says southeast North Carolina could see up to 40 inches of rain.
I jumped up, shined flashlight out here. The water was already up to that first step. Time I could turn around and go back in the house, the water was already halfway. Time I could run out here and get my truck, it was that deep.
Many rivers have yet to crest, which officials warn will cause even more damage over the next couple of days once they do. More than 1 million people are under mandatory evacuation orders, and at least 1,000 swift water rescues have been carried out in North Carolina alone.
When she hit that water, she literally flew into the ditch, and that car disappeared into the woods.
600 roads in the state have flooded out or were made impassable by debris, prompting officials to ask motorists to avoid driving through the state altogether if possible.
Residents who may feel like venturing out themselves could be involved in a flash flood scenario, which could potentially place them in harm's way.
In New Bern, North Carolina, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Meanwhile, volunteers here on the Suncoast say they know firsthand how hurricanes can impact a community and are paying it forward to help victims of Hurricane Florence. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us live from the American Red Cross Regional Headquarters in Sarasota. And Erica, it looks like you have a backpack on. Can you explain to me why?
Yeah, Jacqueline, maybe you have an unused backpack like this one, or maybe even an extra case of water bottles or canned food. Now, all of those items would make great donations. Now, one local group is getting ready to head to the Carolinas to deliver some toiletries, non-perishable food, and cleaning supplies. Donors can drop off items at several businesses here on the Suncoast. You can also do your part by making a monetary donation through the American Red Cross. Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll share why you should do your research before donating to any organizations. For reporting live in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, among the hurricane relief charities popping up to help victims of Florence, there are some scams that are taking place. The Federal Trade Commission suggests that you do your homework. Before you give, research charities that spring up overnight or ones you may have never heard of before. Be alert to charity names that closely resemble those of better-known organizations, and search the charity name online and make sure there are no comments from people saying it is a scam. In Wilmington, North Carolina, which has been completely cut off by floodwaters, officials there are asking for additional help from state law enforcement and the National Guard. This comes just days after several people were arrested for looting a Family Dollar store in the area, and it was all caught on camera. You can see people walking out of that store with bags and boxes filled with items. Wilmington police have set a 5 p.m. curfew in that city to try and curb any further looting. And remember, while Hurricane Florence didn't impact us here this time, there are still 2.5 months left in hurricane season. This is a good reminder to make sure that you have your family's plan in place. You can find plenty of help on our free ABC7 app or mysuncoast.com, including a printable 2018 hurricane guide. Some Venice police officers stepping in to rescue nearly a dozen sea turtles found in a parking lot. Police received numerous calls about the baby sea turtles scouring the parking lot at Sharky's on the pier. Venice police officers were able to find all of them and then release them back into the Gulf. Venice PD joked on Twitter that those baby turtles were given a trespass warning. Police also remind residents that lighting near the shore can cause hatchlings to become disoriented and wander inland. To help prevent this, turn off any unnecessary light. And another reminder, sea turtle nesting season does run through the end of October. Deputies in Pinellas County helped the SPCA rescue a bald eagle with an injured wing today. They were called after someone spotted the injured eagle near a retention pond. With an SPCA member assisting, they were able to get that bird wrapped in a towel so it could be taken for treatment. In a show of solidarity and a whole lot of strength, 6 cancer survivors in Denver, Colorado teamed up to pull this 100,000-pound cement truck. Together, they showed that they had the strength to get that job done. The Pink Powerhouse Pull was a first-of-its-kind event and was put on to raise awareness and money for cancer research. Well, Coca-Cola may be looking into a new ingredient. The company is signaling interest in the potential sale of cannabis-infused drinks. Coke says it's following debate over CBD oil. That's a non-psychoactive ingredient derived from marijuana. According to Bloomberg, Coke is in talks with a Canadian cannabis company on potential products, but the company says it's just watching increased use of CBD for now. It says it has not made any decisions about using it in its Coke products. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast at this 4 o'clock hour.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Appreciate it. By the way, a correction on that story we ran earlier about the rainfall in southeast North Carolina. They're not expecting a lot of rain. In fact, there's a slight chance for showers. The rain, for the most part, is over in North Carolina and South Carolina. There are a few showers around, and there's some potential for maybe a tenth of an inch or an inch or so more, but it has been coming down, obviously, and it has been rather extreme at times over the weekend, but things have calmed down there. Van Wezel webcam showing some fair skies for the most part. Calm conditions out on the waters, but unfortunately that west wind has really brought the harmful impacts on shore. Now you can see spotty showers now over North Carolina and South Carolina. The storm itself, the remnants really, now moving through Virginia and into the nation's capital. But I mentioned a few spotty showers there. Wilmington, the forecast is calling for a chance at 30% for a few little bit more rainfall there. And some heavier storms, but still rather isolated into western portions of North Carolina. The heavier rainfall and storms now spreading off to the northeast into Pennsylvania. You can see that also into Maryland as well as out into Ohio, even some moisture there associated with the front and the remnants. Now, as far as the watches and warnings go, obviously still some flooding taking place. Those have not left. Flood warnings continue as a result of just the wash-off and runoff from the storms that have hit the Appalachians over the weekend. That area in red that you see right there, that's the potential for thunderstorms and tornadoes. You can see that stretching all the way up to the nation's capital into Richmond, Virginia as well. So tornadoes still a real possibility as there's just enough spin in the atmosphere to create these tornado warnings now that are in effect. You can see that now into parts of Virginia, and those are moving off to the northeast rather rapidly right now. But a little unusual, get a tornado warning for this time of year. That's all a result of the what's left of Florence. Well, what's left of Isaac? Let's take a look at what's going on with Isaac out there. Not much circulation at all. And it's really opened up to a tropical wave as it heads off to the west-northwest. There's a little rotation there. Conditions are somewhat marginal as far as development goes. You can see it's in the favorable realm there across parts of the Gulf of Mexico. If it were to develop, more than likely it would take off toward the northwest, so it's not going to be a big issue for us here. But we still have over 2 months to go before the official end of the 2018 hurricane season. And again, the 30-mile-an-hour winds with it. It's moving to the west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. And it looks as though it will continue on that general direction toward Texas or Louisiana down the road. Well, some dry air in the Gulf of Mexico. Boy, a big swath of dry air out here in the Atlantic right now, rotating around an upper-level low, which continues to spin south of Bermuda. That is generally heading off to the south. There's not much west movement to that at all. Our wind flow, which is a big factor determining our thunderstorm pattern, basically very light throughout the night tonight. Turning to the east later on in the day, and then we'll have a little bit of a sea breeze developing tomorrow afternoon. That will allow for a few showers and a few thunderstorms to pop up here and there as we move through time. Current conditions, we have some sunshine out there. It's 89 degrees. And the heat index at 100. I'm looking forward to that first cold front. Usually comes through mid-October, second week in October. Statistically is when we get that first shot of some cooler air anyway. West wind at 9 and the pressure 29.94 inches. You can see we have is this area of low pressure, still the remnants of Florence heading off to the northeast now. And a weak frontal boundary over the northern plain states and some showers down to our south. Wind chill temperatures, no, just warm temperatures expected into the 90s there into Chicago. For the 7-day forecast, then a slight chance for showers tomorrow, 30% only for a few late day storms. Now, we do have a pretty good chance for some late night showers tonight. 40% chance on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday at 50% chance. So we could have some issues with football Friday night. A little break on Saturday, and then it's back to showers and storms on Sunday and Monday. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. At least 11 miners have been killed and dozens more feared dead in a landslide after a typhoon caused severe flooding in the northern Philippines. A witness says that around 40 to 50 miners were inside a bunkhouse, which was buried in a landslide. And of those, 11 bodies have already been pulled out. During a news conference, the spokesperson for the Philippines president also confirmed that the current official casualty figures from Typhoon Mangkhut stand at 54 people killed, 49 people missing, and 33 people injured. Still to come on your Suncoast News at 4, an Ohio town has ushered in the holiday season early this year after answering the call for Christmas decorations to help a dying toddler celebrate one last time.
I'm Joey Panic from Suncoast View. Coming up Tuesday morning at 9, the Players Center opens the award-winning musical Annie Get Your Gun, all about the life of sharpshooter Annie Oakley. We'll meet the star and get a musical preview. Plus, Team Tony Foundation is working to make cancer treatment less clinical and more human. We'll be the first to learn about the new Cancer Connection Center getting ready to open here on the Suncoast this fall. Plus, inside tips for the best family food at Disney World. That's coming up Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. With Camrys and Corollas, your choice from $19,900 to $15,000. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. RAVs and Highlanders from $26,900 to $2,900. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
Christmas came early for one Ohio toddler. The people of Coleraine Township are rallying around the family of 2-year-old Brody Allen, who was diagnosed with brain cancer and was only given a few months to live. Supporters worked together to bring the family an early holiday celebration.
To have so many people across the world reach out to my son and tell him Merry Christmas and we're thinking about you and we love you is just the greatest gift that I as a father could never give them.
Well, Santa Claus even made a special early delivery for Brody. For a family in pain, the warm holiday spirit is comforting for them. Well, we're just getting started here. It's a quick look at some of the stories we're working on for you tonight. Coming up at 5, there's a new way to monitor the roads in Manatee and Sarasota County. We'll have more on a new smart traffic website that allows you to watch 200 cameras in real time. And at 6, a new report is raising questions about the growing role of charter schools in Florida. Plus at 7, now that the primary election is over, all eyes are on November's general election. We'll have more on the races that are heating up. Now let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our final forecast.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're looking at some nice weather, albeit a little bit on the warm side. It feels like temperature right now at 100 degrees. Lots of sunshine out there. Calm conditions out on the waters. Unfortunately, we do have that west wind. There have been some reports of the red tide really coming back strong in some of the area beaches, and we're going to see west winds continuing. It looks like not so much tomorrow, but it'll be back again as another cold front approaches late in the week. But you can see this area of low pressure. It's the remnants of what was Florence continue to cause problems now. We have tornado watches out, tornado warnings out into Virginia, stretching off toward Maryland tonight. As the twist in the atmosphere continues to generate these little twisters, it will continue. Not much rain now into South Carolina or North Carolina. Spotty showers are going to be in the forecast for the next couple of days. That rain chance at about 40% or less. Some showers over the panhandle of Florida. We'll have much more on all of our weather coming up today at 5. Jacqueline?
All right, thanks for joining us on ABC 7 News.